So they've done like some really cute things at the 4 resorts that they're including.
Okay, we are live. Hey, everybody. Hello.
That's so cute.
Hello.
Getting Instagram up and running. Come on, Instagram. Let's do your thing. There we go.
Let's go.
Oops. Next. Post. Publish post. You gotta hit 100 buttons. There we go. X.com post. There we go. And we're good.
All right.
See folks tuning in. So hello to everybody. Let us know you're there. We need listener questions. If you have a question, we have answers. Who used to say that? I don't even know. Some commercial.
We say it.
Right.
We don't mean it. Always mean it. We kind of mean it.
Right. I know. We try.
We have an answer.
We do.
Somewhat.
What was that?
I have no idea.
That was a cool sound. Whoever had that sound. Was that like
wasn't
sound?
I don't have the sound.
It sounded really cool. Whoever had that. It's like an old video game. Ooh, what is my computer? Are we live on Instagram? Can you tell? How do you tell?
I can get on. Hold on, let me look.
I don't even know how you can tell if you're on Instagram. Like I never see. Like, does it?
Yes, it says we're live. We're good.
How do you see that? Like, I never see that we're live on Instagram. Like,
I went on to Instagram and it said at the top live.
Is it on my account or is it on the Be Our Guest Pod account?
It's on Be Our Guest Mike.
Oh, we'll see.
See, look, it says because you're on. You're the one that's on.
So they figure that you know if you're
That must be it.
You're live or not. They're like, look.
Okay.
I mean, not to be harsh, but you should know.
You should know you're live.
Okay. Well, what if I'm kidnapped or something? Like,
well then.
this social media stuff is so hard.
What if you're kidnapped and your kidnappers are going live, but you don't know?
But you don't know they're going live. Then they'll know where you are, and I think your kidnappers have done a poor job of kidnapping you. Because then
Wade, I'm blinking twice if I'm live.
Also, I just got a notification on my phone.
Guadalajara. I'm even trying to pronounce that. I can't. There's no way I could spell that if I was kidnapped. Guadalajara.
Yeah, that sounds like a Romancing the Stone location. Remember that movie?
I don't know what he's romancing, but
I'm gonna have to now. I want to see that.
I'm hoping Wade's romancing something better than the Stone. I'm just saying. Tomorrow's my anniversary, by the way. 19 years. Boom.
Nice.
Wow.
I know.
I'm right behind you.
I know. All right, let's do a podcast. What's up, Jason? What's up, Tom?
Oh, yeah, I got to order a pizza.
Finally.
That's what I was working on, and then you distracted me by asking if we were live.
We are. Ooh, we have a question. Good.
Oh, hang on. I don't see questions. Hold on. Comments. Let's see. Oh, there. I can see them now.
It's about Alani, so get your...
Got my Alani hat on. Hang on. Let me ask Ulu. Ulu. What is it about Alani? Tell me, please.
We got props. We got to start the show.
He says...
Right now. Oh, my God. He's going to a Mexican League baseball game. That would be so awesome because they cheer and stuff. I'd love to do that. Wade, you're winning. Oh, Wade's always winning. Dude, let's see his Instagram post, and I'm like, man, I want to be Wade. Oh, we got to do a podcast. Okay, so what number is this? I don't have it written down. 2707 and 9. 270.
I'll put my phone back for now.
LQs and 2709. We have a show. All right, let's do this. Scotty G in the house. I'm helping him on a secret project.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, he's trying to
be secret.
campaign at his house and help he wins the campaign. We'll see. See how the spousal approval goes tonight.
I had a feeling it had something to do with spousal stuff.
We'll see. All right, let's do the podcast here. 2707. Olu Mel.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I don't know. Okay. I'm starting. Here we go. Don't make me have to edit. So shh. Here we go. No funny comments. Wait, what? 2707. Okay. Welcome to episode 2707 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having an outstanding week wherever the show finds you, whether it's here in the States, over in Europe, Asia, who knows, Australia even. We have listeners all around the world. We're so appreciative that you take the time to listen to our show. We are gathered together today, the original crew, to answer your listener questions as we do each midweek. Before we do that, shout out to my wife. We're celebrating our 19th anniversary actually yesterday on June 10th. So happy anniversary to my Pam, who it's awesome. It is summer, so it's kind of just like normal times right now. So having her home, it's been great, but it's crazy still. And to think we're gonna be doing this all the time now, bumping into each other at the fridge when I go up at 11:03. Still getting used to that, but it's all good. So happy anniversary, Pam. And next year will be a big one, 20 years. So I got to start thinking about it. The wheels are turning. And first question is going to be about Alani. That might have to happen. She's always wanted to go to Hawaii. So I have to figure out about what all these turtles and, Scott always shooting the shaka signs and all that stuff's all about possibly. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get to answering those questions. If you're tuned in live, we have lots and lots of folks tuned in live today over on Facebook, YouTube, X.com, Instagram, Twitch. Drop your questions in the comments. Be a part of the show. So let's do this. Joining us, we have Rikki from a Disney World Afterall.com and the Mouse for Less. Rikki, happy Wednesday. What's up?
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. This weekend I went to a restaurant that is known for they had the sign on the outside of the restaurant, right? And they are known for fried cheese. So I was curious.
So
and so so far, okay, I'm okay with this. But they said also on their sign, breakfast all day. So it's like, okay, I'm down for breakfast all day, whatever. So on their breakfast menu was the option to get 2 eggs, however you'd like. I've now fallen through Pam's guidance. We've got that. And then the second thing that I ended up getting was a
hang on.
slab of fried mozzarella cheese.
Hang on. We're having technical.
That was my breakfast.
Rikki, your internet is cutting out so bad we can't hear you. Rikki, are you there?
Oh no! Yes. I'm sorry. I think I am. I'm here. Can you see me?
We couldn't hear you.
Am I here?
We saw you flailing arms and we could not hear you.
Am I back now?
About fried cheese and a couple of biscuits or something. I don't know.
All right. You want to start over?
Yeah, it's your internet connection. Your internet connection is like super laggy.
It was wonky. Okay. All right. Am I back now?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll start. I won't start over, or unless you want me to start over.
Yes. Let's see. Okay. You might have to reboot or something, but we'll. Everybody was like, "Hello."
Okay. All right. You want me to start over, like from my intro?
Yes. Go ahead.
Please. Okay. All right. So this weekend, I went to a really interesting kind of restaurant. On the sign outside, they said that we specialize in fried cheese. Okay, all right, I'm here for that. Right, that sounds good. The other thing that they said is we serve breakfast all day. Okay, cool. I'm here for it. My brunch was it was 2 eggs, which I have taken after Pam now, and I enjoy my eggs over easy. Thank you, Pam. You have now widened my world to over easy
egg.
I love a dippy egg. Yes, love it. And I've now gotten Brian on the dippy egg too. So like you've transformed our whole entire family. So thank you. Okay, so that's good, right? That's a good breakfast. I had breakfast potatoes, so that's great. That's great. And then I had a slab of fried mozzarella cheese as my entree. And it was like a giant mozzarella stick that's like a square rectangle mozzarella slab of cheese. I took one bite and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, God bless Georgia. God bless the South. I mean,
God bless the South. We have fried cheese for a breakfast entree. I'm here for it. Let's go.
it's eggs and fried cheese. Yeah, let's go.
How can you go wrong?
I know,
How can
seriously.
you go wrong?
I mean, that sounds like the next thing coming to Art Smith's homecoming at Disney Springs.
He
That's
should
your
totally have this on his menu. Fried cheese and eggs.
let's go.
Let's go.
My Taco Bell's going to be just sad tonight after that. I'm going to have to maybe go deviate.
I'm sad that I'm not eating that for my dinner tonight now.
No, same. I
I'm
might have to go.
really sad.
Now I'm thinking about Gingham's Takeout, possibly.
They have mozzarella sticks. You can kind of like make your own.
Who knows? They do have good stuff. Anyway, let's get Pam in here. Pam Forsyth's Corner of the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, happy Wednesday. Good to see you again. We got to spend some time together last week. Tons of fun.
Yes, it was. I'm recovering. I get a break of almost 3 weeks before I'm traveling again. So this has been the year for it, I feel. But yeah, it was good. We did lots of fun, interesting, new stuff. And I'm still sitting here trying to, in my head, sort of reconcile that the breakfast entree, the main part of it, can be a big piece of cheese. I'm not sure how that is breakfasty.
No, I was unsure as well.
Was it like breaded?
It was like a giant mozzarella stick.
Okay. Yeah.
In like a square rectangle form. So instead of being cut into like little pieces, it was a giant square cheese.
I mean, I'm sure it's yummy. I'm just having a hard time, like, being like, this is breakfast.
It was not. I have no idea how they determined that was a breakfast item.
Right. That's where I'm stuck.
I was here for it because they advertised that they were famous for their fried cheese. So I wanted brunch.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, I have to try the fried cheese. So they were like, hey, you know what? We're just going to combine the two together. And it worked out in my favor. So.
All right, let's hit the listener questions. We got them and they're coming in, and let's hit them. And again, if you have questions, we have lots of folks tuned in live. We appreciate you. Drop them in the comments because we want to answer a bunch today. Cindy Franzen, one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less, tuned in down near Nashville, which I think we're going to visit for the first time this summer because Mallory's saying can't go on the cruise because of cheer, but I want to go to Nashville.
She's never been. You guys have never been to Nashville?
We've driven through it a million times, right? Going to Walt Disney World, but never stopped. Have you seen that Batman building?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if that's what it's
called.
It's
great.
AT&T, but
Nashville's so fun.
Exactly. She wants to get some boots and a cowboy hat, and I want to go to the, she's not old enough to go to the bars, but I'd like to go to all the country bars and hear we just want to hear the music, right?
Well, you can hear the music just walking down the street.
That's what I heard. And I have a cowboy hat. I bust that Stetson out every once in a while when I need to. So let's go. Anyway, Cindy says, hey, thanks for booking my trip to Alani. Yeah, let's go. Shaka. I don't know. I've never been there, but I'm all about it. Scott's got me saying that. And George and everybody else. Do you know when reservations open up for September 20th or later? This is for the luau. She followed up just a little bit below. I see the other dining is 30 days, but right now the luau is booking for September 6th. So help Cindy get the luau. Pam Forster, what do you say? Ricky, what we got here?
It's honestly not it's not so many days in advance. It's one of those ones that Disney releases when
they're like, surprise!
Yeah,
here it is.
I know.
So you would compare it for folks that are comfortable with Walt Disney World with like a dessert party?
Yes, sort of. Typically around the 4 to 5 month mark, but not always. And you see where they're booking it now. So I just say, go and watch. It's not going to sell out immediately, so I would check a few times a week, just put it on your list of like stuff to check in the morning to see when it pops up for that. But yeah, it is fun. I've done the luau there. We had a really good time, and I think one of the things I really appreciate about the luau right there at Alani is, first of all, you're there at Alani, so you don't have to travel to go anywhere. But another thing I think that is really cool about it is they have some really cool interactive things, some sort of teaching things, some crafts, all of that. And Disney always does such a great job of sort of marrying the history, the culture, the whatnot with fun. So I think that they do a great job with this one too.
Do they have a full on like pig on a stick going like spinning over an open fire?
The luau's I've been to, yes, but I didn't go to the Alani one. I went to one at a Hyatt.
I
So.
mean, I know that's like much for some people that are not carnivores, but like I'd like to see like the.
I
full,
felt like it was on a platter, like
I
it
need to
was,
see,
like
like,
it
no, I
had
don't know.
been.
It had been on a spit.
It had been
Yes.
roasted, and
I would
actually
feel-
with this, they do it underground. That's the whole thing with the luau pig. They sort of cover it in banana leaves
Yeah.
and roast it underground, and then uncover it. Yes, I know. So yes, there was
it's like a resurrection.
sort of.
Yes.
I mean, but I felt like there was a platter with the pig with the apple in the mouth and whatnot. But anyways.
Yes, see, that's what you know. You know what I'm talking about. The apple.
Scott said no, so there you go.
Oh, bummer.
I know.
Oh, bummer. I've always, I've watched too many cartoons, obviously, in my life.
No, because I've been to a luau where they actually did do that. And actually, in college, we had like a luau like party, and yes, we did have a pig on the spit, and it was definitely going around.
That'll turn into a Mike in the Midwest episode too. Could have been a possum. All right, Thomas Perk. I don't know if his question's legit, but let's go after it. If you need a question, I have one. What size turkey do you think will fit into a DVC villa oven? I mean, honestly. And he said also, Mike, I couldn't help but notice you ran into a bunch of listeners from the Buckeye State during your last trip. OHIO. I will say, I learned something, and I've kind of known this because I'm an SEC guy. I met a listener, Ken, in the Magic Kingdom. And I was, dude, and I got to tell a quick story about meeting listeners in the parks. So when I'm solo, a legitimate guaranteed that I will meet a listener in the park is if I gamble and I hit the button on a mobile order that say I'm here. My order, and I'm not. If I push that button and I'm not really that close, and I'm just like, I'm gonna hit it because I want it to be ready when I get. If I hit that button early, guarantee you within 5 seconds somebody's gonna be like, Mike from somewhere. It's not the listener's problem. I love meeting listeners, but it happens every single time. So I'm walking towards lunching pad, right? Because I wanted to get my sweet cream cheese pretzel, which I love. Just cruising through. And as soon as I hit that button, I couldn't, probably 2 seconds later, Mike, Kim pops out, listener Ken from Ohio. His family's already left him, right? They're just like, who cares about a podcaster, dude? We're leaving you. We're gone. I'd probably get an ice cream at the plaza or something. And I don't blame him. I would leave my other person too. So, but he stays, we get a picture. He's got his national champion, Ohio State shirt on. We get a great picture, with the Astro Orbiter, what's part of it that's up there right now.
Right.
Not the whole thing. But, dude, you post one picture with somebody in Ohio State gear to social media, bam, boom, you get all the comments. I'm just saying, the Buckeyes come out in droves. So if you want to if you want your social media to get popped, just post a picture with a Buckeye, boom, and say OH. Oh my God. It's like my social media blew up. So find a Buckeye, post a picture with them. It's amazing. Especially if you're an SEC guy and you're like, oh my God, did he really just say OH? Yeah, it was amazing. So shout out to Ken for that. Anyway, what do you think? Like, I mean, they're like the ovens, seriously, in the villas, they're like, I know I've been like in a 2-bedroom. That's a full on oven.
Yeah, they are typically like a full or close to full size oven.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that encompasses though. I will be honest.
I think we do like a 25-pounder Thanksgiving. I don't know.
In your actual like oven.
It's a regular oven. Yeah, we do it in a regular oven. That's like a 25-pounder, I think.
I don't know if there's any difference in the size of like the oven that's included in like a stove or just the ovens on the wall.
Oh yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know what the difference is between a stove and an oven. Like we have just like the Kenmore, right? I mean, it's like it's
an all-in-one burners and
the oven in it versus an oven is can be by itself.
Ours is all like one thing. Like it's got you cook your mac and cheese on top on the 4 like burns, right, and then you put your food under it. Like if you want to cook the turkey. Like the turkey's right under where you have the burners on top.
Right.
Stove. That's probably a stove.
Yeah.
That's a stove.
Okay. I'm not up to. I don't know what the names of all these things are.
You're learning something every time.
It's like all one thing, and then above that's the microwave. But it's a separate thing. But it just sits right above the stove where you make your mac and cheese and your ramen noodles and stuff like that. And I make my grilled cheese every day on the stove. But I could put something in the oven at the same time. Well, whatever. It's probably not everything. I don't know. God, hard. Thanks, Thomas. All right, the next question. I feel like I'm Bob Barker. Like, come on down. We have a stove and what's a range? I mean, dude, they used to talk about
Well, the
ranges.
range would be the top. The
Yes.
top part is the
So
range.
there are some that are just the top that you like.
Right.
My mom and dad's old house, there was a range, and then they had an oven in on another wall.
So they're like separate units. So I got so a stove is basically like a
Stove
range and an oven combined.
Yes, like we just have our like we have 5 gas burners that are in the counter, and then we have 2 wall ovens.
We have turned into the
turned into
network. You missed an episode of the We Are Guest podcast. You remodeled your kitchen.
See, and I have the stove. I have the oven with burners on top. Yes, but they're gas burners, and it's a gas stove.
Yeah,
it is like, I mean, it's kind of, we thought it was fancy. We bought the house, right? Because it's like it doesn't have, like our old one had just like, like the flames that came up and, little
gas.
Yeah. This one's like the flat top, right? So
that would be electric
glass, but it's all smooth and glass. It looks cool.
Yes, that would be an electric stove.
Yeah, but it looks really cool.
I have a gas stove.
Like our old one though looked like 1970s, right? It had the flames that came up and
my stove does not look like the 1970s, and I have a gas one. So
I know, but what I'm saying is our new one is just like flat and it looks glass. Like you can't really tell where the 4 spots are unless like you turn them on and then they turn red.
It depends on how you like to cook. Some people like to cook electric. Some people would rather have the fire and the gas.
But I'm saying our old house though was like our stove was from the like 50s, right? So you had to like after a while you had to take off the covers and like clean them up. These you just like wipe them off. Anyway, who cares? All right, next question is from Kristen. She says, I just booked a slightly impromptu trip to Walt Disney World with my 11-year-old daughter. We'll be flying down at the end of July before she heads to middle school. We're staying in a royal room at Port Orleans Riverside. Any suggestions for a mother-daughter trip? We're hitting the water park on arrival day. Has anyone done the cake bake shop tea? Ooh. Any ideas on what time the new Magic Kingdom parade will be? Thanks so much. Well, first of all, that's going to be an awesome trip, and I like the way you're celebrating a mother-daughter trip before middle school. And I like the royal room idea at Riverside. That's a great idea. Pam, did you do the tea at Cake Bake Shop?
I did. And we really had a great time. I will tell you, I have been missing the Grand Floridian tea because it has not come back. And
we did that.
We don't know what's going to happen with that space, although they are redoing it, and we'll be hopeful. I mean, it's going to be a tea spot, so we'll be hopeful that they have a high tea. But yes, we did do the Cake Bake one. So making reservations, first of all, you have to actually email. And if you go on the Cake Bake Shop website, you'll see directions for that to be able to email to participate in that. You actually have to make reservations for the tea. You cannot just make reservations for the Cake Bake Shop and then hope to get the tea. That's not how it works. And we had a really great time. I will tell you, they gave us like the biggest scones I've ever had in my whole life. And we've done tea a lot of different places, in different countries. We've done the Plaza Tea in New York City. We really enjoy tea. But these were huge scones. And it felt like a lot of food, but it was really cool. We ended up taking back some of the desserts. They have scones, they have tea sandwiches, they have all different kinds of tea. They can actually match the tea with the course that you're having so that you can have more than one tea throughout, or you can have one tea that might be your favorite tea or whatnot. We just had a really great time. They sort of take all the people who are participating in the tea, and you're in one room. It's sort of to the side, and you get kind of a really cool view of the cake bake and that carousel looking thing at the top that sort of spins around while you're eating. That's in the middle. But we enjoyed it. Lots of food, lots of yummy finger sandwiches. I don't know how old your daughter is, but
she's going to go to middle school.
Oh, okay. All right. So there. All right. I was going to say, the very cool thing about the tea shop is they actually got permission from the French government to call champagne bubbles.
Oh.
So there's a rosé bubbles that's really cool that you can get with the tea. But I think it's a whole bottle, so probably not one you want to do all by yourself. But no judgment. I'm not, no one's asking you to drive like the bus or whatnot.
She's the mom of a middle schooler. There are going to be days where she could down a bottle.
Yes,
if not already, it's coming. I'm just saying.
For sure. But we had a great time. And I would recommend it. I really thought it was a great experience.
So what else, Ricky? Mom-daughter trip. Trying to think. I like the Riverside Royal Room. I love this idea of a high tea at the cake shop. That's sweet. What else?
Yes.
What else could we do here?
I think one of the best options is to let her choose what she does for the day. I feel like let her be in charge of the day and let her do all the planning for, let her decide where she wants to have dinner or lunch or breakfast or all three. Let her decide what attractions you go on. Let her decide which park you do. I feel like just having a day that's focused solely on her and what she really wants to do is going to be memorable enough, in that regard. Like that's such a huge, that it's kind of like it lets her feel like a grown-up, you know what I'm saying? Because she's the one in charge of deciding everything, especially at that age. I feel like that's so important. So that's kind of what I was thinking originally, was just let her be in charge of the whole day.
I would say too, you're at Riverside, one of those nights, go to the River Roost if you can. It's Thursday through Saturday night. Catch a Yeehaw Bob show. Let him know it's her birthday, and he'll play it up.
That's true, yeah, exactly.
He's great at celebrating birthdays, and that's a fun show. Like you guys have a hoot, and it's right there at your resort. You don't have to make any extra effort. Everybody goes to the shows, has a good time. So see Bob if you're there over the weekend.
And we do not know the time for the new parade. No. It will probably be dependent on when the fireworks are being shown that night. You can go ahead and look and see what times the fireworks are and sort of gauge before or after, but just be aware that may change as well.
Let me Google, or let me look at the Disney website, because if I had to guess, I would guess that the fireworks, I would say that they might be at like 9:30, and so it'll be interesting to see whether they run one parade or two. Because before they used to run two, but I don't know what they'll do with this one. I assume that the parade
will run two, but if I had to guess,
I assume that the parade will be before. Okay, the fireworks are at 10, so I'm gonna say the parade's probably before that. So I would say probably 9:15, probably 9. I would guess 9 if I had to take a huge stab at it. I would say 9.
If I had to guess in the summer, I bet there's one before and after.
Yeah, but I don't know what the park hours are. I don't think the park hours would warrant that. But I don't know. I don't know.
And this is a time of year where we sometimes see adjustments in the park hours too.
Yeah.
So just
and it will be extremely popular. So I could see them running two. One before the fireworks at like 9 and one after at maybe 10:30, 11. Maybe.
Think about Fantasmic, though. It goes right at the end of the park hours, so it could be. Who knows? That'd be a weird choice. We'll see. Yeah. All right, real quick, couple other suggestions from the chat. Our friend Mohawk over in Scotland says a carriage ride along the Sassagoula could be fun. And Jason down in Celebration says a little stroll over to French Quarter to grab some beignets. That is as well. All right, we have another question here from Rachel, another one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less, and she says. Yes, let me hide that here. Hello, BOGP pals, heading to Disneyland in just a few weeks for the first time ever to celebrate the Big 4-0. That's fun.
During Disneyland's Big 7-0.
No,
yes,
exactly. We know there's no hibachi, but is there anything you'd recommend that's Teppan Edo adjacent? Hibachi fried rice is my family's favorite. We're likely going to Goofy's on my actual birthday because nothing says 40 like a character buffet. I'm trying to think.
So there's a new restaurant that is in downtown Disney.
Yes. On the left as you're walking towards the Disneyland Hotel, right before you get
what is it called?
It's where it's kind of right past the Jazz Kitchen.
It is, and it is Asian inspired. I'm looking for the name of it. It begins with a T, I think.
And during the races last time I was out there, people were loving it. Everybody went there and loved it.
I think it's Din Tai Fung, I think is what it is. Is that
It
the one
could
you're
be.
thinking of?
It could be. It's a great big location.
Yeah, it's big.
It is. It's really big. So I think that is going to at least get you some Asian inspired.
Yeah, it's not
food.
hibachi. It's definitely Asian though.
Yeah,
I'm looking to see if they have appetite. They have bao buns, obviously steamed dumplings, wontons, greens, specialties like pot stickers, noodles, noodle soups, fried rice. So they do have fried rice, wok fried noodles, rice cakes. They have some options, but I don't know. It's not gonna be like hibachi style rice, but
no, it's not. There's also always in California Adventure, there's the Lucky Fortune Cookery, and that's a quick service location. It's actually in that location, sort of right there that they redid, that is inspired by Big Hero 6. So it's in San Francisco. So that's something to check out. And the other place is the Tangaroa Terrace at the Disneyland Hotel, has sort of Asian inspired dishes too. Again, not really fried rice, but like a poo-poo platter they have, which there is absolutely a poo-poo platter. Nice. So that's worth checking out too.
You got to be kidding me.
I am not.
I'd have to order that. I'm still gonna order that when I'm out there.
We've ordered it a bunch of times, so it is sort of like the poo-poo platter. Usually, it has a bunch of different stuff on it, and I feel like this one had like macaroni salad, and I know, right? It had battered green beans. It had tempura. And chicken wings and that kind of stuff. So
they're messing with you right there. They're putting all the.
I love it.
I know, right? So yes, definitely.
William in the chat, who is relocated down to Florida now, but he says this is awesome. Like he's given this place, the place at Disney Springs or Disney Springs.
No, downtown Disney.
Awesome reviews. So.
And a big thanks to William.
I can't pronounce this place.
Dun Tai Fung. Yes.
Tai Fung.
But I have to send a shout out to William because he got me the Epcot popcorn bucket, the Spaceship Earth one, and I got it today, and I'm in love. Oh my gosh! I showed it to Brian immediately, and I'm like, "Look how cool this is!"
It is really cool.
Pretty cool bucket. I know it's pretty awesome. Shout out. Yeah. So is there not one of those? Okay, what's that famous like chain that's the hibachi place? The Benihana. Is there not one of those like around off site? Because like there's one right off in, like in the, because there's one in one of those hotels at Disney Springs. There's a Benihana. It's in one of the Disney Springs hotels. I figured there must be one like close to the Disneyland hotels.
I mean, that's going to be when you get to Disneyland, Google what's around there and see if there is anything.
There's not a Benihana around there because there
could be.
I bet you there is.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Benihana in my life, and I'm kind of intrigued. It's like my wife won't go to Golden Corral. Like
I will not either. I'm always your wife.
My wife will not go there.
No, she's correct.
She's like, I won't go there. I'm like,
no.
I'm intrigued. They have these fountains of chocolate.
It's not intriguing.
It's not.
No. It's really, truly not.
It's definitely not.
I've never been.
I am with Pam. No.
It's like I've never peeked behind.
I know, but there's like stuff that you've never done, and you just know, like
it's not good. That's what Golden Corral is.
Roadhouse. Like on the left is Golden Corral, and on the right is Texas Roadhouse, and I've never been able to go.
I would go to Texas Roadhouse every time over Golden Corral.
Not happening.
Brian likes Golden Corral as well, and I will not go there with him. And thank goodness they got rid of the one that was by my house. I'm so happy. It's no.
Apparently, people in the chat are
we're not talking about this anymore. It makes me ill.
So let's go to the
next
question. Nicole's got a question in the inbox. She says, I have a question for the podcast. What is the best 1-credit table service restaurant in the parks, resorts, or Disney Springs? I have a trip in October for 4 adults. We're foodies. My husband was a chef for 20 years. Thank you. Nicole's down in Fayetteville, Arkansas. She says, I can't even say it.
Easy.
Woo Pig Suey. Okay, fine. Hang on. I gotta hang on. Suey. Okay, there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
a weird turn today.
Best one table. I know that was profane.
Easy. Oh, jeez.
Best. Go ahead, Ricky. What do you got?
Boma. Boma.
Okay.
Boma is my choice. Go to Boma. You will not regret it. Second choice, Sanaa. But Boma, the food is so good. It's fantastic. They have so many different unique flavors. I think a chef would love it. I think a chef would also love Sanaa, though. You've got to have the bread service there. And my favorite is the butter chicken. But definitely, like, one of those 2 Animal Kingdom Lodge restaurants would be absolutely what my suggestion.
I'm trying to, man, one table service credit like the best because I'm trying to think of like atmosphere, food. Because like Olivia's is my favorite restaurant, but I don't know if like, that's best use.
It just depends on what you're going for. Best food, whatever. I'm saying over the top best food. I'm going to go with our James Beard Award winning chef, Art Smith.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Yeah, exactly.
And he, like, one of his restaurants has a Michelin star. Now, I'm not saying Homecoming is a Michelin star restaurant, but he is a James Beard winning chef. I mean, and the food is good. It's creative. It's so down home. It is what it is, though. It's not like fancy. If you're looking for the best use of your one credit, it's like the best value is always one of the all you care to enjoy locations. Exactly. Simply because they're pricey. Like Chef Mickey's is like the price of the dining plan, basically. So that's why we always tell people if you're doing any of these locations and you aren't getting the dining plan, you're leaving money on the table, folks. That's all there is to it. But there's other great, one credit locations. I think there's just a ton of different locations. And even I think like Steakhouse 71, Mike, you had the burger finally. When we went there, Mike had the burger.
Nice.
By the way, shout out to Tim. We got to see Tim again.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
Burger on property, and it was so good to see him. It's been a minute since we got to catch up with him, and I know he had some stuff going on, and so it's so good to see that he's doing well. And he said hello to everybody, so it was wonderful seeing him. But oh my, I had not had the burger because I had been there breakfast a lot. Holy, I mean, like we had burgers all around the table. Like almost everybody had a burger, and like I ate mine so fast. Like everybody had to guard their own because I was like checking out Jocelyn's and Ben's. I was gonna take any other burger that was like it was so good.
It was really a good burger.
Yeah, they had to kick us out. Like we stayed so long.
We did, yes. We were having a good time.
And it wasn't as loud this time. We noticed that place can get loud, but it felt like it was quieter, even with us. I mean, we were loud, but. That's nice. Yeah, Steakhouse 71. I was thinking, but I like the food at Olivia's. It's comfort food, but I was thinking Beer Garden too. I do like Beer Garden for a buffet.
That's a fun one too.
It's unusual food.
It is. It's different.
There's no fried cheese there though.
No fried cheese at all.
Morimoto's. Morimoto's is signature though, isn't it?
I think it might be.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Natalie's got a question. Good morning. I have a question. I have talked my fiance into adding on a couple of days at Disneyland at the end of our honeymoon. I go to the world regularly, but this will be our first time visiting Disneyland. My question is, where should we stay? We plan on doing 2-day park hoppers with Lightning Lane. We're trying to save some money on the hotel, so we're considering staying at a good neighbor hotel, something I would never do at Disney World. Which one would you recommend? I was thinking the Howard Johnson, but unsure. Thanks so much. I like the Hojo, but that's my jam. I'm a retro guy, man. I still have my room key is sitting here because it is so cool because on my room key is an MGB. That was my first car, was an MGB. So right there, when they handed me my room key, I'm like, I'm home. I am home. And then everything was orange and blue. So then I had to buy the tumblers in the gift shop for like $40, but they're cool. Like, I mean, they called to me. I was gonna buy a shirt, but it didn't fit. I'm all about retro stuff, dude. The Hojo, boom, it was made for me, and it was just perfect location. Boom, you're sitting there right across from the Matterhorn. Walk across the street, like 2 blocks down, you're in. I love. I'm staying there again for the next race weekend. If for a good neighbor hotel, I like the Hojo. I love the Hojo. I love Hojo. But I've also stayed at the Grand Legacy. That was a great location. The rooms weren't quite as nice. But yeah, I like the Hojo. So what other good neighbors do we have that we like?
The Tropicana Inn and Suites is a good one and a good location. There's also a Fairfield right across the street. But I'm going to give you one little piece of advice. And this is something that's up to you and you have to think about. So the thing about the Good Neighbor hotels at Disneyland are that they are just basic hotels. Some don't have pools. If they do have a pool, it is right by the road. It is not like a resort experience. So if you will spend any of the time at the resort or you want that resort experience, then consider one of the 3 on-site hotels. And that's the only thing I caution people on. If that's not important to you, don't worry about it. You're already winning by buying Lightning Lane and including that with your package, because that is Lightning Lane works fantastically well out at Disneyland. Like, so good, there's not even a comparison. So I think that's awesome, and getting the park hopper is absolutely what you need to do because they're right next to each other and you want to be able to take advantage of that.
So well said, because for somebody going to Disneyland for the first time that's so comfortable with Walt Disney World, you will be blown away, for one, with the park hopper. Like, being able to go back and forth, the first couple of trips blows your mind. Like, it is. You've heard about it on the podcast, and like I had heard about it from Scott and from you guys. Like, oh man, you won't believe it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was like, oh God, like I can be in the very back of Disneyland and go to the very back of DCA, literally in 10 to 12 minutes. Like, it was like, until you do it and it's the ease of it, you're just like walking from World Showcase up to Test Track, or going on Living with the Land or something at Epcot. It's so simple, and you use it so much because it's so easy. And Lightning Lane, we were having this conversation, I think I was having it with Ben or somebody when I was down last week. We were talking about Disneyland, and I think the advantage, I think it was maybe with Steve, is that Disneyland is such a locals park still, is that when you go out there as somebody who's not local and you buy Lightning Lane as part of your package,
yes,
you're like king of the hill, right? Because the locals come out, but they don't buy Lightning Lane because
Correct.
they go so often, they don't need it. Like, they're just like, I'm here to get some nachos and maybe ride the Haunted Mansion a couple times, or maybe get on Pirates. Who cares? I'm just here for the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're there as a guest, like it's on a vacation, and you have Lightning Lane, you're just like, let's go, because you're in the minority that has Lightning Lane. So you're at such an advantage at that point with Lightning Lane out there, because most people aren't vacationers. Most people are locals, kind of hanging out.
That's true.
Right.
And it's just, I mean, you guys feel the same way. Like, I never thought about it that way. You are very much in the minority, I think, of people that have Lightning Lane there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a huge advantage. So, because I think we're like at World, I think a lot of people have Lightning Lane nowadays. I think
absolutely. Well, a lot. Yeah, a lot. Maybe not all, but the shift is definitely different than it would be at Disneyland for sure.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, it just feels like, ooh, I'm having fun. And I mean, because like last time I was out there with Lightning Lane, I used every single attraction. Like, and I mean, of course, then you could go on them again. You just don't have your Lightning Lane. You can do them as many times as you want. But I was like, dang, I've used them all. Like, I was by myself, but
right.
Yeah. So, but Pam's exactly right though. If I had my druthers, Disneyland Hotel every time, because it feels so. That hotel is so amazing. And here, a hot take for Friday's show. I stayed for the first time at the Contemporary, right? I kept drawing comparisons between the Contemporary and the Disneyland Hotel. They felt like they were siblings to me. And I'll talk about that on Friday. And I love the Disneyland Hotel. And I fell in love with the Contemporary. The Garden Wing rooms, they're pretty dang sweet. So we'll talk about that on Friday. So I think that we can do, let's see. We have one more question. I think that's about it for today. I think we are out of time. Oh, William also mentioned the Stovall's. He's a big fan of Stovall's Best Western. So there you go. All right. So we're going to put a wrap on today's show. We're going to come back on Friday. And what we're going to talk about is what we learned last week down at Walt Disney World. So I'll talk a little bit about my stay at Contemporary, because I have some ideas and thoughts about staying at the Contemporary because I'd never stayed there. Some of the final thoughts on Cool Kid Summer. If you're headed down this summer and you have kids, some stuff not to miss, because we learned some things that, you're entitled to get some of these things that nobody's talked about out there. So if you're staying at four of these resorts, you need to go to the check-in desk, because you're going to get some goodies, and it's included with your package, and you probably don't even know about this. So come back on Friday. We'll tell you all about that. Streetmosphere is back at the studios in a way, and I got to experience that, and I was like, I had this big grin on my face. I'm like, oh my gosh, This reminds me of like a decade ago. This is what the studio is all about. I'm going to talk about that. Got to see the Little Mermaid show. Little tear. Got to kind of
there you go.
By myself. I was kind of embarrassed, but it was good. So lots of fun stuff. We had some great meals. We'll talk about that on Friday's show. So a virtual trip to Walt Disney World coming your way just a couple of days. So hang with us. All right. Don't forget our podcast today brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your trip to your favorite place, Walt Disney World. We're there. We're on the ground. We can help, make sure that you have a great trip each and every time. Disneyland as well, sailing with the Disney Cruise Line, even seeing the world with Adventures by Disney. The best part is no additional cost to you, and you get little goodies like Disney gift cards, travel, laundry bags, and all kinds of fun stuff. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. No cost to you. It's the best price of all. I mean, when you have kids, Cool Kids Summer, talking about that, kids are expensive. Our services, free. You'll never beat that. So check them out over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Click through that link. It takes you right back to Amazon and supports the show at the same time. And you can become a patron of our show. It's $5 a month. Supports everything we do here on the podcast. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So coming over and support us this week. We'd love to have you. And thank you to all of our patrons who are already over there. We appreciate you so very much. Again, it's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike on x.com, Instagram, and Threads. You can follow Pam in the same places at TMFLT and Ricky at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. We'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a holler. We'll be talking Disney with you. We love doing that. And finally, join us in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It is free for everybody all the time. Man, I'm telling you what, this thing just blows up. We talk. I have the notifications on. I can barely listen to my music because it's constantly chiming and beeping and all that stuff. That just means it's so much fun. We're always talking about sports and Disney and cruising and life, and we need you there. So come on over and join us. We'll give you a welcome right away. All right. Till we get back together again on Friday, you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike saying stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Oh, who's that? Hang on, let me cut that one part out real quick.
At least it was in the beginning.
I know. I'll forget though, and then it'll be in there. Hang on, let me get it.
This menu was the option to get 2 eggs, however you liked. I have now fallen through Pam's guidance.
Where do we start? I'll go back.
We've got that. And then the second thing that I ended up getting was...
Ricky, are you there?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll start. I won't start over, or unless you want me to start over.
Yes.
All right. So this weekend. All right.
Okay, let me get here. And go backwards. Delete. Let's see if you're still skipping here. Still getting used to that, but it's all good. So happy anniversary, Pam. And next year will be a big one, 20 years. So I got to start thinking about the wheels are turning. And the first question was going to be about Alani. That might have to happen.
My legs. Right. So this weekend, I went to a really interesting kind of restaurant. On the sign outside, they said that we specialize in fried cheese. Okay, all right. I'm widened my world.
Yeah, almost got it.
Okay, cool. I'm here for it. My brunch was widened my world.
So dipping it.
And I've now gotten Brian on the.
I could do that
and it
once
was like
in a while.
A giant.
Happy Wednesday. What's up?
All right. Okay, cool. I'm here for it. My brunch was it was 2 eggs, which I have taken after Pam now, and I enjoy my eggs over easy. Thank you, Pam. You have now widened my world to
It's a
over
dippy
easy eggs.
egg.
I love a dippy egg. Yes, love it. And I've now gotten Brian on the dippy egg too. So like you transformed our. That's great. And then I had a fried mozzarella cheese entree.
I could do that
And it was
once in
like
a while.
a giant I took one bite and I was like, for a breakfast.
It's eggs and fried cheese.
What can you go wrong?
I know. So, I mean, that sounds like the next.
Fried cheese.
Let's.
I'm sad.
Hang
Yes,
on.
love it. And
I'll get this in a minute. Undo delete.
the sign outside, they said.
Happy Wednesday. What's up?
All right. So this weekend, I went to a really breakfast all day. Okay. 2 eggs, which I have taken after Pam now, and I enjoy my eggs over easy. Thank you, Pam. You have now widened my world to
It's a
over
dippy
easy.
egg.
Okay, there. I got it. So, save file. Save as 2707. Edited. Otherwise, I'd have totally forgot. I'd have been in there. Okay, let's do the second show. Come on, 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 come on. My neighbor just finished cutting his grass, so that's good.
Good. There we go.
Big Brad. Big Brad. Those all. And let's take that banner off the bottom. And here we go. 2709. Welcome to episode 2709 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend, and shout out to all the Disney dads tuned in. This is our weekend. That's right. Hope you get all the Mickey ears, all the Disney gift cards, because you can use those for all the good stuff on those future Disney cruises, Walt Disney World trips, Disneyland trips. Think about all the good stuff those turn into. Those turn into, let's see, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, Mickey ringer teas. Yes, there's a cool one at the Emporium right now. I think it's just kind of plain. It's a gray Mickey. There's a new one. I'm sporting it right now. If you're tuned in live, I love it because it's just a gray t-shirt with Mickey. It doesn't have to be gaudy all the time. It can be kind of simple. When I saw it, I'm like, speaks to me. It's going in the bag. It's going back to St. Louis. Love it. Doesn't have to be so loud all the time. So hope you get what you're looking for, and that's probably just spending time with the kids and your family. So happy Father's Day to all the Disney dads out there. We appreciate you always being a part of our community. So let's talk some Disney. We're going to talk about what we learned at Walt Disney World last week. Ricky was just down there very recently as well. So we're going to talk about all the stuff we're seeing at Walt Disney World to make your next trip even more awesome. But what's awesome is that you being here today. We appreciate you. So joining us, speaking of Ricky, from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less, she's here. Happy Friday. What's up, Ricky?
Happy Friday and happy Father's Day to my one and only. He's a fantastic dad who, just adores his little girl. So I guess today is Donuts with Dad at school. So I'm going to guess he's going to get some donuts this morning. And I guess I should probably do something for Father's Day. So
every time we had Donuts with Dad, I heard this sound.
Yes.
It was a wonderful day at Wedgwood Elementary. And then a lot of times I went with my nephews and did donuts with Uncle Mike.
That's nice. That's good.
Anytime I could sacrifice for my nephews also.
Yeah, you absolutely could sacrifice a donut or two. 100%. Yeah. So, happy Father's Day to my amazing, wonderful husband. And I guess I should also then give a shout out to my awesome dad as well, who's a fantastic papa. So happy Father's Day to both of them.
I should probably shout out my dad too. Shout out DJ Doty, who got this whole thing off the ground. So
yay!
The best Rams radio engineer in the world. Doty.
Yay!
Shout out. Happy Father's Day to my dad. All right, Pam Forrester, Coner, the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday. What's going on?
I'll add my happy Father's Day to all the dads, to my husband Steve, to my two dads. I think that used to be a show, right?
Yeah, yes, it did.
Great 80s sitcom. There you go.
Exactly. So I'm fortunate. I get a couple. So anyways, all good. But yes, glad to be back home for a little bit. And it's like right now I feel like I'm like work, then I'm gone, then I'm back to work, then gone. So lots of good stuff going on.
So a lot to cover, a little bit of time here on a Friday. We'll be taking questions on Sunday night's live call-in show. So do give us a call Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern. We'll have the phone lines open. If you have any questions about any of this stuff or want to add to it. But we were down this past week doing a little Cool Kids Summer research and some other stuff we got to experience. But well, I think the biggest thing people are curious about, because we have like uber Disney fans, right? Well, let's talk Geo82 right off the get, because that's kind of a new thing. Of course, that's not Cool Kids Summer. That's adults only. But I got to be honest, it was awesome. As a Disney fan, dude, I was like, oh my God, we get to go in here. Like, for one thing, here, funny story, right? So we're down there, like 8 of us from the agency kind of hanging out, doing a bunch of research. We did a lot of divide and conquer, right? We'd come together for a minute, and we'd all like go different ways to different parks and get some pictures, video stuff to share, find out information like, what's this experience about? What's that about? You go see the Little Mermaid show, you go see this, thing, go to that resort. So and then we came back together for meals and, debrief together, which was awesome. I loved it. It was great experience getting to see everybody. But so we're all meeting at Geo82, right? And I'm like, dude, like I was talking with Ben because he's my buddy, right? And so we're like, dude, we get to go to Geo82. Like, how awesome is this, right? Like, oh, yeah, this is pretty awesome, right? And, I'm like, let's do this. So we're like, we got to meet up at like 12:55 or something's the reservation time. So, we're always like super early. So like I'm like just wandering around Spaceship Earth, and I see him. And so I see him, and we're kind of by the Walt statue thing. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know where the entrance is to this thing. Like I see the windows. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's the windows right there. I'm like, dude, I can't figure how we get into this thing. Funny thing is, like, we ask all these cast members, none of the cast members know how to get into the place either. Like, we're asking people, they're like, where's the entrance to Geo82? They're like, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it. We asked like 3 people. Like, nobody knew how to get into the dang place. We're like looking around, like it had opened the day before. I'm like, there's not like, what do? You got to do a secret knock, and like some shingles going to open. Like, it was crazy. So that's the funniest thing ever. Like, we're all, and then finally we get a text from Steve. He's like, you got to be on the side that, like, if you're walking towards Moana, it's on that side. So at least we're on the right side there as you're walking back towards the World Circuit. Then we're like, oh, there it is. But it's the most inconspicuous place to find if you're not in the know. So, Pam, tell us what your initial thoughts of Geo82 were once you get on the right side of Spaceship.
Once you get to go in.
Exactly. It was the craziest thing. We couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's actually when you're getting off the Spaceship Earth, you're going to walk past the entrance. Yeah. If you go out that way, the entrance is right there, sort of near Project Tomorrow or whatever they call it. So it's odd. But like from the very beginning, I think we were all just sort of like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like, this happening? Yes.
Yes. And it's like, is it themed? Why, yes. It is super themed.
It's not lightly themed. It's heavily themed.
Yes.
It's everything I was hoping for.
Yeah, me too. Really. As a huge Epcot fan, from the moment you either walk up the stairs or go up the elevator, even before then, you're really getting good, Epcot vibes. I will tell you, the geodesic sphere, it makes an appearance about 100 million different ways. It just is a really great location, and it felt so awesome to have an adults only space in the world. It just didn't you think?
Yes, and you're greeted, as soon as you go in with like a hot towel or
Cold towel.
cold
Oh.
towel. Yeah, it's kind of wipe your face.
And it was scented.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
It was kind of like, am I going to a bar? Am I going to the Grand Floridian? Like, what's going on here? Because I'm not fancy at all. I'm
Yes.
like excited to kind of watch everybody else. Like, okay, what are they doing with the towel? Okay, cool. Like, everybody's wiping their faces, their hands. Okay, good. Okay. Gave back. I did give it a whiff. It smelled really good.
Yes.
Like, I mean, after being in Epcot gets you, a little stinky. So they wanted to make sure you were cleansed before you went into their nice, fancy, brand new bar. So I get it.
Right?
See, they're trying to make you think you're fancy, but I know what they're doing. They don't want you to dirty up their new place. So that's how it is. So there's like a little sitting area. You kind of go out there waiting for your name to be called, and great artwork out there, like lots of monorails,
so good.
A Spaceship Earth. I mean, as a Disney fan, you get your camera ready because you're gonna be taking lots of pictures in the sitting area before you go in.
For sure. Yeah, I loved the sitting area, and it really features a lot of like gold and silver colors. And that one of the cast members had told us that Spaceship Earth, one of the original concept art pieces for it was going to be gold, not silver. And I was like, right? Who knew? So there's lots of gold and silver touches really throughout everything.
Yeah, I heard Burl Ives was one of the original Imagineers, and he just kept singing silver and gold like all the time.
Stop!
Yeah,
Now people are
it kind of looked like a snowman, like
No.
silver and gold.
That's gonna get stuck in your head,
Christmas in July, baby.
right?
Well, yeah.
Or
Okay.
June.
They're June. I know. Well, people sometimes get behind on the shows. Somebody will be
Yes.
listening to this in July. Anyway, so it's the beauty of a podcast. So when you go in, when they call your name and you're like, it's happening, let's go. You go
Yes.
to a tunnel, which I thought was really cool. There's like a little tunnel thing, and you kind of hang a right, and then they explain as you kind of go in. They have a kind of a display case of like bourbons and all the spirits and all that stuff. So I don't understand all that stuff really too much, but I mean they kind of give you a preview of that. A lot of that stuff is exclusive right to Geo82.
Right. Well, and to Disney. So there's actually some Disney signature bourbons, I think, in particular, or whiskeys, that are there when you go in, and they have sort of a display there, and they're sort of showing some of the Disney wines and drinks and whatnot. So you sort of get to walk past that case. And then you are into the main restaurant. It like opens up, and you have such a great view from there. I just was sort of blown away by that, weren't you? I mean, like I knew what the view would be, but it was better than I expected.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and plus when you're going into, if you look down, it's the fiber optic ground that was back in Future World that they brought it back. It's got the fiber optic ground as you're walking in. It's so cool. Like I was like, oh my god, that was what was outside of Interventions. It's back. It's right there. So I was and it's also the background music is playing kind of like the old Interventions loop. So I mean, they had me at basically the Interventions loop. I'm like, yeah, let's go. But yeah, you walk in. It's a grand bar. The lighting fixtures, like the chandeliers. When you're walking around, the perspective of them is hidden Mickeys. Like you'll see kind of the groups of three. And so as you see them, you'll see like the Mickey head. You can see them in the pictures, obviously, if you see on social media. But it's very like black and silver and lots of, the triangles, the geodesic spheres are everywhere. The bar is pretty large, I would say. Maybe it seats like 15 at the bar-ish, maybe 10 to 12, 15. I didn't count. But cool looking bar there with everything displayed behind it. And then you got some tables, and you got some tables right up on the window. We got to sit right up on the window. Wasn't extreme. I mean, it was full obviously when we were in there, but it didn't seem loud. You could hear the background music playing. It's a great place to socialize. I mean, it's a great place just to, get in there and hang out with your buds. We had a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I felt the same way. We didn't feel rushed. Mm-hmm. They weren't rushing us. There are food and drink options for those who don't want a drink with alcohol. There are non-alcoholic drinks. There were a couple different like mocktails that were available, or 0% proof, I guess. What I would say drinks. They had soft drinks as well. But yeah, we tried some different food items. The thing was, a lot of their glassware is really themed too. I felt like everything was themed, and the glassware sort of reminded me of like Spaceship Earth, different ones, all of that. So I enjoyed like all these little touches. Like they were going for a theme. They were leaning in hard to the theme. Everything that they could theme, they pretty much were theming. So
yes. So Tanja's asking, what was my favorite thing? So I had two things. I had the kind of famous, I think it's kind of one of their lead-in things was the old fashioned. It was the butter something old fashioned. And I mean, it was amazing. Like it tasted so smooth. And when they come and they present it, they explain everything that goes into it. I'm not a big old fashioned person, so I don't know exactly about the bourbons and all that stuff. All I know is it tasted great. The ice cube, if you look at my Instagram, the ice cube had a geodesic sphere, had basically spaceship like stamped right into the ice cube. And then when she poured the bourbon or the drink over the ice cube, it stood out. Like, I mean, so have your camera ready because it's awesome. Because, obviously turns kind of that golden brown. It was so cool looking, but it tasted, I mean, amazing. Like it was so stinking good. So the old fashioned is out of this world. And I had this little ahi tuna platter with 4 pieces of ahi tuna. And see, people didn't know I liked some of the people I was with, like, oh, Mike won't get anything here. No, you don't.
No, I said
you knew, but Jocelyn didn't. I love ahi tuna because I always get that on the cruise. It what's the one Enchanted Rose? What's it called? Enchanted Garden.
Yes,
they have that ahi tuna that I just destroy. I love it, but oh my gosh, it was super tasty. So I got that. I know that Ben next to me got the bourbon flight, and he really enjoyed that. Pam, would you have it? Because people are asking like what we got and stuff.
I got the drink I got was the first one I got was the Electron, and it sounded interesting, and I was glad I got it because it was really good. It had mezcal.
The onion drink.
I know, I will.
That was so weird.
All I want. So the Electron had mezcal, carrot, cinnamon, lime, orange bitters. Yes, like a carrot flavoring. Okay. And pink peppercorn, and it was really good. It had a little bit of spice on it. I really enjoyed it. The second drink I got because I just I've had savory martinis before. This was the first time I ever had this, and it was a caramelized leek martini. And it was so funny. The server was like, "It is very onion forward." And yes, it was very onion forward, but
because somebody at our table was going to order it. She just kept saying it is very. She did not. I mean, she was like kind of saying like, "Don't order it.
Don't order this." But I can't tell you not to order this. So
it is very onion forward.
But you tasted it. It wasn't It didn't taste bad.
Oh, I don't know, man. That thing was. I mean, it was like sucking on an onion, man.
It was very onion forward.
It was very onion forward.
It was like I could not drink that thing. Like that thing was wild.
It was a gin martini, and of course it had vermouth. So I think when you get a savory drink that has vermouth, it tastes more potent than it actually is.
That thing was super potent, man.
It did seem like it was.
Sip, and I'm like, whoo!
I know. And it has a big pickled onion in it. So, I mean, it was a very unique drink. I'm not saying that I wouldn't recommend it for everyone to get because it's very unique. But
super unique. Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing, then it's kind of a cool thing to have. At our table, we sort of split a few different appetizers. We did the tuna, and it was really good. We got the fungi flatbread, which is just mushroom flatbread. Again, it was good. We got the charcuterie, which was really good too. It had just a bunch of different things with it. They also have a crab gâteau, which I've heard is really, really good, and a hummus as well. So there's not a ton of different things to choose from, but it was, I mean, I think that we walked away like not hungry. Like it was a great like light meal, I feel.
I would like to see some small desserts too kind of come into this because it's always nice to have like a drink and dessert too, so I feel like that would be nice to see in the future.
Maybe they will. I don't know.
I prepared myself. I went and had my like little final wrap pizza before this. I knew if I was.
Oh my gosh! Yes, of course.
Yeah, so I'd like, okay, I'm thinking this through. I'm gonna have a wrap pizza because I'm gonna have a drink, so I gotta have something in my belly.
You gotta have the bread.
Right, there you
go.
go.
Lots of bread to soak that up. Yes.
Exactly. So I was like, this is the perfect ending. Like I'm having my final little pepperoni pizza, little fashioned, and then I had a little ahi tuna. It was the perfect combination. It was great. It was, so there you go. Can't do that combo anymore. Yeah, it was a cool place. Everybody, hard ADR to get. Like it'll simmer down after a while. Everything after every while. But yeah. Anybody that's a theme park fan, especially an Epcot fan, should experience it once. It's akin to like a Space 220 experience. Everybody needs to do it at least once.
I think
What
so
about
too.
you? Did the fireworks part? Tell us about the
did.
fireworks thing though, because I didn't get to do that.
So we did the fireworks thing later on, a few days later, and we really had a great time. And I will say, I've mentioned this a few times on the podcast, but Steve likes the dessert party, the fireworks thing, because it's like, you have a place to be, you know that you're going to see them. In the Magic Kingdom, you have a location where you're going to be, right? You then can do the desserts or whatnot. It's just a lot less like standing there, waiting, whatnot. And this was absolutely that. You go in about an hour before the fireworks start. You get your location. We were talking to the server. There's actually relatively few seats available for it in the evening. I'm talking like 23, 25, something like that each evening. They're trying to keep, the seating locations in the restaurant, the best ones reserved for those
but the rest of the restaurant, is it open during the...
It is.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
It is. Right. It is. So you can still go there during that. But not every seat is going to have a great view. At the same time, the fireworks are high, and this is a fireworks experience. It is not a luminous experience, because from where you are not going to be able to see all the projections and all of that happening there in the middle of the lake. Like, that's not going to be, but it does say that. It calls it a fireworks experience, and you're able to see the fireworks. And I think the thing that I loved maybe the most about this is, most of the time when you see the fireworks at Epcot, you're sort of close in, right? You're seeing them right there on the lake. Being able to be sort of far away and sort of have more of a bird's eye view of what was happening was really interesting, and actually a perspective that I haven't had. This is like the one location where you can do that. And so we really enjoyed that. Of course, they piped the music in. It's, a really cool experience, but included in the fireworks experiences, there's a champagne that they have that they're pouring throughout. They also have the old fashioned is available. There's two other drinks. There's a margarita and an old fashioned that is available too. And that's included in your, in the price of this. There also is food, and it includes the charcuterie plate. It had some deviled eggs that were really good. And it had what might be my favorite, which is a pimento cheese macaron, which was so freaking good. I wanted a box of those to take home.
Was it
I really did.
It was savory?
It was savory, yes. It was so good. Really, really good. I know. I'm going to be looking up the savory macaron.
You're selling me on this because, seriously, like the old fashioned was so stinking good. And you're talking about deviled eggs and pimento cheese stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And then the meat and cheese.
Oh my God.
That was really good. And then it did have desserts, and the desserts were, one of them was that Baumkuchen.
Shut up.
Yes.
It was just a little bit of it. It was just a little bit.
Now you're killing me, because that is my favorite thing at Epcot. Oh, they're totally marketing.
So it was that, a chocolate covered strawberry, and some fancy chocolates too. So I know, right?
Oh my gosh. GO82.
Mike, you're gonna see Mike. Mike will be like, I am now paying for the GO82 experience.
Let's go.
He is not getting any souvenirs. He is not getting an annual pass.
Right.
He's gonna see 5 minutes worth of fireworks, and he stuff his face full of Baumkuchens.
Well, and one of the best parts of this whole thing was, it was, how sometimes there's a summer night where it seems to get more and more humid and hot as the night goes on?
Been there.
It was one of those nights, but guess where
no.
we were
You were
in the
inside.
very well air conditioned GO82, and we got to watch all the crowds sort of filter out while we sat there. This was, I'm saying, as they say, this didn't suck. So.
No.
I will say, too, when we were up there too, Ben and I were on the glass, right? So you're like looking down over basically like where the Walt statue is. So you see all the people between like Creation Shop and
Yes.
like, kind of going into Moana. So we like told each other it's kind of like the like what God must see when he looks down on earth. Like, because you're looking down at these people. So what we started doing was like narrating what people were saying to each other. We're like writing everybody's story. So we're like, this couple was like kind of scrambling, like, so we're like making up the story, like what's their story, like, okay, because like went together, they talked to each other, then like the husband took, or I don't know if the husband wife, but boyfriend girlfriend, like that one guy took off kind of like he was like flustered. So like we made up a story, then he came back together, like so that's kind of a fun game.
It's Supremo people watching 100%.
Watching it,
Clearly.
Yes. Oh yeah, it is so fun.
Yes, and it is an expansive space.
Yeah, with a drink in your hand, it's 10 times better.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Like, we loved it. It was pricey, and I will absolutely do it again. I mean, I think it was just one of those things that made Steve really happy. Like, he's like, I didn't have to be out there in the heat. I got to see a pretty cool version of the fireworks. The music's piped in, and I didn't have to fight people to leave. All this is a win.
Yeah.
So
100%.
He's definitely a fan.
yes.
Okay, so GO82, check it out when you get a chance. So Pam, what else? Like, because we want to get things in here. So I teased this on Wednesday. I want to make sure we get this out here. So Cool Kids Summer, we've talked a lot about stuff happening there. But one thing we learned is that if you're staying at one of those 4 select resorts this summer, that would be Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation, and Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness Lodge.
Which one of these does not? Like, it's one. I don't understand, but I don't need to. One of those 4 resorts. One of the things we learned while we were down there is go to the check-in desk when you arrive at the resort. So why is that, Pam? Let everybody know that, because we have the online check-in, go straight to your room, which is an advantage a lot of times. But why should folks go to the check-in desk?
Because if you have kids, they have a Cool Kid Summer bag. And basically what's included into it is some Cool Kid Summer luggage tags, some Blueies, like stickers and buttons, some little activity book. I mean, this is probably not going to appeal to adults.
No.
But some activity books, some specific things. There's going to be a map, a Cool Kid Summer map for that resort. There are also Cool Kid Summer specific maps for the different parks and whatnot available, but they really are doing some cool things for Cool Kid Summer. I think that we were all really impressed about the things that we saw, activities, all kinds of things going on at the resorts. Each of the participating resorts has a little lending library in the lobby. I was blown away by that. I just thought it was such a really, like, a cute thing. Oftentimes you don't get a lot of luggage space to bring books. So the fact that you can go to your lobby and pick up a book, they're going to have special craft activities and other activities for the kids. I was telling Mike and Rikki before, they have little kid-sized shopping carts in some of the shopping locations. I know, right? It was just adorable. Just so many different things. And I think it really highlights one of the things that we talk about all the time is that the Walt Disney World resorts add something to your vacation, right? I mean, it's just sort of a way to be surrounded by the magic. And this takes it even a step further. They're really doing a lot of things, a lot of activities specifically for this. And I'm just sort of blown away by it. When you get there, make sure that you ask for an activities map or take a picture of it in the lobby so that you can see all the things that are going on. There are also special scavenger hunts that are going on at the parks. They're on the back of the little Cool Kid Summer family guide. They're for the resorts and the parks. Just lots of really cool things that make it kind of Cool Kid Summer, for lack of a better word on that. But yes.
And I'll say something too that I saw when I was at the studios, which it's geared obviously towards Cool Kid Summer, but I enjoyed it because it brought back something that here on the podcast we've been talking about we missed this. We've been saying it for a decade now, and it's Streetmosphere.
Yeah.
And this is basically, it is Streetmosphere kind of thrown under the Cool Kid Summer kind of idea. And what it was, so I went in and, well, quick story, I went in to see the first Little Mermaid show that was showing that day. Loved it. The update is great. You know, I'm one that I like the old stuff. You guys hear me talk about that all the time. Like, I do not like change. I love the old Little Mermaid show. I love the old lasers. I loved how it looked. There was a lot of the old stuff still in the new show. One of the things when I saw it, I was like, oh my heart, the old dancing turtle, like marionette dancing turtle, dude, he makes an appearance. He's still in the show. I'm like, that guy survived. I love it. There's still those, you know, still some nods from the old show, but there's a lot of, you know, new stuff. There's a good just mix of old and new. And it's still the same old story from the old, like that, because that was Paige's like movie. Like, she loved Ariel, like that. It was great until King Triton said, I'm gonna the only problem is how much I'm gonna miss her. I'm like, stop, dude. Now he's gonna be a senior. Knock it off. Quit with that, King Triton. We don't need this right now. But other than that, it was a great show. And so I loved it. So I get spit out of like the Little Mermaid show, right? They spit you out right into the animation courtyard. What's animation courtyard been for the last 5 years? Kind of just a big dead area, right?
Yes.
I get spit out into this, and bam, there's people like it's alive. I'm like, what's going on? So I get spit out, and there's this like basically a Streetmosphere character with Goofy and Donald Duck, like there, right as we're getting out, and he's starting a little skit, a little show. He's doing a magic show, and he's encouraging families, kids, everybody to gather around. They've got kind of a rope set up so you can like get around the rope, like his little area. And he's doing these magic tricks, and he's spinning plates on his finger and on these sticks, and he's got kids coming up, and they're holding the sticks and they're holding the plates spinning. And it's like a little 10-minute show. But the thing is, like, the characters, Goofy's interacting and Donald's interacting with the kids and doing the magic with this guy who used to be, I'm pretty sure was a Streetmosphere guy. But I mean, it was so fun. You don't have to be a kid to enjoy it. Like, I was clapping and laughing. I'm like, dude, where'd the coin go? Like, it was in a napkin in 2 seconds. Like, I was like, dude, it's just for 4-year-olds. Like,
Mike got tricked. He's doing magic.
He's got magic going.
Like, it's Cool Kid Summer, but I'm a dad. I don't know what happened to the coin. Like, what's up? But like, it was, and everybody was cheering, and everybody was having a good time. And like, you know, the show was like 10, 12 minutes. Kids were there. Everybody was cheering. And then he show's over. He goes away. But the characters were there. So it was kind of a good combination of live entertainment, character interaction, families having fun together. It was great. As soon as that was over, boom, this little 3-person troupe of jump ropers in these like neon uniforms comes out. They start doing like double dutch, but then like immediately after doing a couple cool tricks, they just take out a single rope and they let the kids jump rope with them, like, and jump through, do a couple single. Yeah. So it's interactive. They get to not only watch some cool tricks, but they get to actively participate. And at the same time, Goofy and Donald are back. They pop back out from some door, and they're like encouraging the kids to like get in at the right time. They're interacting with the kids while they're jumping and waiting their turn to get into the jump rope. So, you know what, it was, the parents are all eating it up, right? Because they're taking pictures of their kids like jumping rope, and like Goofy's in the background, Donald's pushing them in. You know, it just, what it did was it took Animation Courtyard, a place that just was kind of depressing, to be honest, over the past 5 years. It's like, what's happened to this? You know, it's like, it's not its past glory. And all of a sudden there's like upbeat music, there's kids jumping rope, there's characters, there's families having fun. Streetmosphere was there, you know, I mean, like, it was entertaining, it was exciting, it was upbeat, it was just people having a good, there were like bubbles blowing everywhere. I mean, it was just like a party. And this was like at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. It was amazing. Like, this is what the studio, because that area is supposed to be for kids. And that is but it was families having fun together. But I mean, I would say if you're down there and you don't have kids, go in, because like, we love live entertainment, and it was live entertainment. You could have fun even without kids. It is geared for kids, but I don't think it's exclusively for just only kids. I had a good time watching it.
I agree. And there's a location like this in each one of the parks. There is, the whole Big Top Treats over at the Magic Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has one. Epcot has, of course, Goofy Core, stuff like that. But I think that's the thing I walked away with too, Mike, that it was really entertainment with the characters, but it was so much more than a character interaction. It wasn't your kid running up there with the autograph book and then getting the canned photo and then moving on. Mm-hmm. This was really an opportunity for kids and adults, like for everyone to sort of like have a true and real interaction with those characters, do something fun. It was so much more than just entertainment. It was really interactive, and I loved that. And all the kids loved it too. Like there were parents who sort of were like, okay, we gotta go. And like you could see, like kids didn't want to go. They were sort of there.
We gotta go ride Slinky Dog. No,
right.
This is too cool. Like I want to do the jump rope thing. Like, no, we didn't come here for you to jump rope. We got you out of school like in summer break. You've been jumping rope at recess. Like, let's go ride slow. So, no, I want to do this. It's like it's the weirdest thing, right? It is.
Fun.
Yeah. But it's like it brings an area, like Goofy Core over at Epcot, right? I mean, it's just a place that's a flex space, but it's being turned into energy for the summer, and it'll be turned into something else when the next festival comes around. But it's good use for right now. Like, and I'd like the kids to get their moment. It's fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Lots
so Rikki, let me. So you have a kid in this age. We just have old kids, Pam and I, at this point. Kids that are just costing us a ton of money and lots of headaches.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's your perspective on this? Because you got one that's right in this demographic. So what are you seeing? What are you liking?
I do like all of this. I think that it's like you said, it's bringing back something that has been missing in the parks, and that's those unexpected things that you just happen upon that help to make the trip so much better. That's one of those things that, with like the loss of the Streetmosphere characters, and the fact that they're not doing as much in, say, Epcot as they used to, or things like that. Like, this kind of stuff is so huge, and it really does help to make the vacation better. And it brings me back to like my childhood, when you could come across a character and you didn't have to wait in line, and you just like kind of happened upon them. I love that in the Goofy Core area, they're doing that where they lift the parachute. Yeah. And I like
70s, man. No kids.
That was my favorite.
For parachute than us.
That was my favorite game in gym class, was the parachute game. Like, I loved it when it was that time to play that. And so that's one of my favorite things. And so like, maybe now when I'm down there, I can show that to Lucy, that'll be so cool. And she can play with Goofy and have fun, and it doesn't have to be structured. And that part's so great. I love that. I know they're doing some stuff in the Storybook Circus area as well, with some unique entertainment and things like that. And it makes my heart happy, because those are the things that have been missing for so long. And they help to make the vacation that much more rich. And you're right. Yeah. You're not paying necessarily to go down there, to experience jump roping. But it's those moments that when you stop and actually try and enjoy your vacation, like, those are the things that you're going to come back with and remember. And so I'm really looking forward to like being able to have some of those memories with Lucy of like, when we do go down there because we just missed the Cool Kid Summer by literally a day. So I know why they decided to push it back until the day after Memorial Day, but it makes me so sad, because I was like, I was right there. So I'm very excited to get to experience it, and I think it's a really great addition. And I do hope that they keep up with things like this in the parks as we move forward, and it just doesn't have to be a Cool Kid Summer thing. It can be a Cool Kid Fall thing, like, it can just continue, and it can be just.
No, once you go back to school, there's no fun for kids.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Just nothing. No, but you can have fun for the adults too. Hey, I can go out there and jump rope. I'm going to fall on my face, but I can get out there and jump rope. So it's all good.
Yeah, Tanja says she wants to jump rope with him. I get it. I mean, the adults wanted to get in, and I knew better because I'd run that morning, dude. I'd have embarrassed myself because my vertical leap is about 2 millimeters at this point in my life, so it would have been ugly. So
I've seen Clarabelle Cow coloring in the middle of the, like, that's
Yes.
awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, just that you can come across a character that's, I mean, that doesn't happen. Like, that's the cool stuff.
When
That's
when I was in the Magic Kingdom too, and I don't know, because like I've been to Disneyland more. Like I saw Peter Pan and Wendy walking two kids from they're walking all the way from the Peter Pan attraction. They were all the way past Philhar Magic. Like you just don't see that stuff at World anymore. But I did see it this trip.
It makes the world
I
so
think
much
they're
more
trying
richer.
more. I'm trying to do more of that stuff at World.
Yeah.
And they didn't get swamped. You know, like I think they always say like you
Mm-hmm.
can't do that at World because of like guest behavior, but people were minding their P's and Q's.
They did a really cool thing. So I don't know. Have you guys met the Mandalorian at Disney's Hollywood Studios?
I saw him when I did see him this trip.
They do a really unique thing because I actually met the Mandalorian and baby, Yoda, Grogu. And they do a really unique thing. They like have everybody like kind of stand in a line. And then when it's your turn, he will motion for you to come forward. And then you can have an interaction with him. And it's this organic kind of interaction. He'll talk to you, that kind of thing. And then he'll take a photo with you, which I really like that because it allows for things to be organic, but also still allows you to do things like maybe get that photo that you want. I don't think he signs autographs, but still, like it still allows for kind of a more organic experience. And even if they did something like that, I feel like that could work really well because you get to see what you want to see. You get your experience, you get the conversation, and then you can move on to something else and not have to stand in a line and wait forever and, that kind of thing. I really like that. I thought that was really good, a really good way of handling it.
That's a good idea. When I came upon him, because I was like just in a hurry, this was my studios day. I was just wanting to get a breakfast Ronto wrap, which again, I had mobile ordered and I was starving. So I was busting through whatever that little area is with all the shops.
Yeah.
Coming in from like the Grand Avenue.
Yeah.
So I was coming in that way towards the Ronto wrap pickup area. But the Mandalorian was right before you get there by the popcorn stand. Mm-hmm. And he was like talking to a baby in a stroller.
Yeah.
And so but there were people kind of around there, but there wasn't a line at all to meet him. I think people were just kind of hovering around.
Yeah. No, they had everybody kind of like stand.
It was kind of like a circle around him.
Yeah. They had everybody stand in a line, but it was a horizontal line, not like a, vertical kind of line. And then he called you up one by one and that was your turn. And so I feel like that, even if they did it in a circle, I still feel like that would be a great way of
you're kind of like circled around them,
handling it too. So I would like to see more of that. I think that would be a really good idea. Yeah.
This is the way. All right, real quick. I got to tell you about Staying at the Contemporary because, man, I was thinking about this and I talked about this on Wednesday. It gave me so many Disneyland hotel vibes and I love the Disneyland Hotel. That's probably my favorite hotel because of the nostalgia, just the mid-century modern kind of feel of it. And I've always loved the Contemporary, but I've never stayed there. And I was like, oh, shouldn't open this door.
Nope.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Because I'd seen the pictures of the rooms, like with the Incredible theme, and I love Frozone. And of course, I was in like a 2-queen room by myself. I didn't even touch the bed that had Frozone like on the pillow. I slept on the Edna Mode bed because I messed that one up every night. But I just left the Frozone bed by like alone because that thing was so cool looking. This Frozone's cool. So that bed never got touched. But those rooms were so cool because like on the mirror in the bathroom, like there was a monorail like around the edge. It's so cool. Like, oh my gosh, those rooms are just sweet. I was in a garden wing room and that room was huge. It had the big old couch and a table and they had the little patio and I could lay in my bed. I laid in my bed, just opened the drapes and stuff. And then I could see the boats going back and forth over Wilderness Lodge. I was like, God, I'm living a dream. Anyway, here's the thing. And I was thinking about this. This is a great hotel for families because I had cool kids summer on the mind, right? And here's why. And this is why it reminded me of Disneyland Hotel, not just the aesthetics and the vibe, which the vibe is very cool, but being able to walk to the Magic Kingdom back and forth very, very easily and quickly, and to be able to ride the monorail over to Epcot back and forth very, very easily it's such a win for especially a family, but also me. That was great. I'll take it. But it was just so simple to get back and forth to those two parks if you're focusing on those two. And here's the thing. It's always been kind of hiding there, those garden wing rooms, like in plain sight. You don't think about them. You always think of the tower, which the tower's great. I think that's a splurge for a lot of people. But the garden wing rooms, a lot of times will go on a discount where it's maybe just a step up from a moderate. They're more pricey than a moderate resort. I'll give you that. But maybe it's a splurge over a moderate but man, you get a lot for that because you save a lot of time and transportation issues just right there. And I'm telling you what, great dining, amazing pools with a splash pad, slides, and you just cannot beat the location. So I was thinking, man, this has kind of always been hiding in plain sight, these garden wing rooms. We don't talk about them enough. So Pam, what do you think about that? I was sold on the garden wing. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I think, first of all, I mean, I think staying at the Contemporary, whether you're in the tower or the garden wing, is a quintessential Disney experience, right? Because it's one of the original hotels that was there. The monorail runs through the middle of the hotel. I mean, you don't get much cooler than that. But you're absolutely right. So because it is at the Contemporary, when you see one of those specials where you can save up to, it can be save up to 30, 35, even 40%, then the Contemporary is going to be one of the locations where you're saving the up to percentage, right? That it's going to be on that. And so because the garden wing rooms are lower priced than the tower rooms, it actually does bring it down to a very manageable price for a lot more people because of that. And I agree that also the location, first of all, fantastic. Transportation, we've already talked about. You don't get much better than that, right? But also I think the dining choices, like you mentioned, Mike, are really worth it because not only do you have Steakhouse 71, California Grill, you have a coffee shop in the lobby. You also have the Contempo Cafe for a quick service location, and there's a lot of good choices there too. So
and Chef Mickey's.
And Chef Mickey's, yeah. I didn't even mention Chef Mickey's, but yeah, think about that. The OG in terms of character meals, right? Chef Mickey's. So lots of great things. In addition, there are restaurants at the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, just a monorail ride away. There's also a boat to the Wilderness Lodge, and that gives you more great options. So many things right there within striking distance when you're staying at the Contemporary. It's a great hotel. It's a great location. So many great amenities. And some of the best shopping, I think, period.
Oh my gosh, those stores are great. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You'll spend too much. And it's got like the little mini confectionery in the one store.
Right? I know. Right? Exactly. So the Contemporary has a lot of pluses, let's just say.
It does. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this hotel.
And the air conditioning at that hotel seems to work really well.
Kicking. Yes. Kicking. But then Steve told me this, and I could not unhear it, right? So the Contemporary the tower has just like awesome like background loop, like playing like a Contemporary one.
Yes.
Did you go to the garden wing? He's right. They have not changed that background loop since like the 90s. It was like Blue Traveler and Hootie and the Blowfish.
There's a lot of Sting.
Stop. No.
Yes.
100%.
Well, Steve told me this. He's like, dude, he's like, the background loop. He's like, have you noticed? Because I was in the garden wing, right? He's like, have you noticed yet? I'm like, what? He's like, they have not changed the background loop in the garden wing since like the 90s. Right. And as soon as I went back to my room that night, I think Let Her Cry was playing by Hootie and the Blowfish.
No!
Shut up. And then it was like Blues Traveler. I'm like, oh my God.
No.
I don't know. There was like this station in the 90s in St. Louis called like Alice, like 104.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm listening to Alice. It's like, I can't escape it. That was the only drawback. I was like, oh my God. And I mean, I like a little Hootie and the Blowfish, but I was like stuck with like, like Blues Traveler singing "The Hook Brings You Back." I'm like, get back to Contemporary. What's going on? Get this off.
And there's a lot of like Chris Bodie and like, yeah, I know. It's absolutely true. They have not updated that. Maybe I don't know why this is, but yes, this is absolutely true.
That is disappointing.
And I did not notice until Steve said that. Then I'm like, oh, curse Steve. Because I'm like, I cannot stop. Like, because every time like I'd turn the corner, I'd go outside and then down that, covered little canopy thing. I'm like, when am I going to hear the next song? What's it going to be? It's going to be Shania Twain or something.
100%. And it's a retro loop plays around the pool too. So.
Oh no.
That's the worst. Anyway, we're a little bit long, but like, do we have anything like for 5 minutes, Pam? Anything else we learned? We're going to throw in here real quick for folks before we hit the weekend.
I just, I think that what we all walked away from was that I think so many people thought Cool Kid Summer was sort of just going to be an overlay of stuff that they already did, and it's not. It's so much more than that, and in some ways, just so cool.
Literally.
That yes, it really is. It exceeded my expectations in this space for sure. So it was
Yeah,
Cool Kid Summer.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's obviously geared towards kids and families, but it brings energy resort wide, right? And 100%. The whole thing is it is interesting that it's only kind of featuring those 4 resorts: Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation, and Wilderness Lodge. I wish it was expanded to more resorts. I think it's kind of a test.
I wonder if it is,
kind of to see like the reception, but I would guess. I mean, because we had this, small kind of little team down there to kind of check out all the offerings. And the thing is, when we got back together, because we had some meals together to kind of debrief and talk about how we can help our guests get the most out of their vacations this summer when it comes to all these offerings, is that, and most of us are parents, is that we said, God, Disney's really doing a great job with these offerings, because most of these things are just included in your stay. Like, you're coming down for vacation anyway, you're getting more for your vacation this summer, and it's not anything that you have to add on. It's just extra stuff. So I think, if you have kids, and it's weird because like we've said this for years, when you have kids of this age, you spend all this money sometimes for lightning lanes, and you have all these perfect plans for how you're going to see the parks. What do the kids this age like the most? It's always going to be the resort pool. It's just going to be swimming at Pop Century or, All-Star Sports. Yeah. They don't care. And a lot of times like Rikki just said, your kid probably, when you go home, like if you ask them their top 3 things they did, it could be playing with the parachute with Goofy.
Exactly. That would be one of my top things. I mean, I will absolutely be in there, and I'll be waiting for my chance to play with the parachute with Goofy. And I'm 40 years old. So and at that point I will have had my birthday, so I will be 42, but still it's fine. Like, I am all here for it, and I'm ready to go. Like, let's do this. So come on, Goofy, I'm ready for you. Let's go play with the parachute.
I think the temptation though is for parents, and I've been there, trust me, is that there's a frustration that you want your kid to like say that the thing that they enjoyed the most is like, has to be like, oh, I love riding the Barnstormer, or that I really enjoyed, the meal at Chef Mickey's, because it was an expensive meal, or, the Barnstormer was like
Bibbidi Bobbidi,
or
something like that. Yeah.
The first official roller coaster. And if they say it was the pool, or if they say it was playing with the parachute or jumping rope at the studios, that you're disappointed, right? Because it was like, oh, that's such a like boring thing. Well, not to them, celebrate that they, whatever it is, like that's their thing. The next trip will be something different. But I think that, and I get it, man, because we all try to lay out the perfect plan, but just celebrate what they enjoy. I think is kind of the lesson that it's hard for parents to get, and I'm there. But I think it's just take what they love and love it with them, and have fun this summer.
Agreed.
That's what I'd say. All right. Well, hey, I'm just trying to figure this stuff out still. My kids are 29 and 17. Good Lord. Mallory got a chip in her windshield this morning she was driving behind a rock truck.
Oh.
You thought the world ended. I'm like, have you not seen the Safe Light Repair?
They'll come to you.
They'll come to you. They'll shoot the little glue in your thing, and you'll be good. Like, dude, the world isn't ending. If that's the worst thing that happens today, you're good. And free plug there. If you Safe Light want to sponsor us, we're good. BRGuestPodcast.com. All right, so
I could have used them a couple of months ago. Not gonna lie, I had a giant crack, and I had to pay for that one all by myself. So no insurance was covered on that one. That one cost me some money.
Oh, we don't need that. I don't want to hear that. Stop. Make me sweat.
So get the chip fixed, because if it goes all the way crack, you are in trouble.
That's already happening. All right, don't forget the Magic for Less. We'd love to help you get down there for Cool Kids Summer, for super fun fall, or whatever it's going to be, wacky winter. I don't know what's coming next, but Walt Disney World's always fun. That's the good news. It's always fun. Disneyland's always fun. Sailing with Disney Cruise Line. Oh my gosh. thebomb.com all the time. Adventures by Disney. The world is out there. It's your oyster. So we can help you plan an amazing Disney getaway. And the best part, no additional cost to you. Save all the money for the kids. They're expensive. Trust me. We all know. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That supports the show with each and every purchase. So thank you for that. And you can become a patron. Thank you so very much to our patrons who are already over there. We appreciate you so much. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Coming over, we'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow us on the socials at beourguestmike. For me, that's x.com, Instagram, and Threads. Pam is at TMFLT Pam. Give her a follow right now. Also, give Rikki a follow at Rikki Nibs, RIKKINIBS. We'll have our live call-in show Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Want to talk about any of this or whatever's on your mind? Join Scott and myself for that. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch for that. And finally, join us in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It's like a live chat / message board. We talk Disney 24/7, 365. It's free for everybody. Coming over, we'll give you a big welcome as you join us. And you'll be hooked within 5 minutes. It's so much fun. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, time to get out of here and let you have some fun with Dad this weekend. So happy Father's Day to all the Disney dads. And we'll catch you again on Sunday night. So for all of our friends out there, you have a good one. For Pam and Rikki, I'm Mike saying stay safe, stay healthy, and happy Father's Day. Good stuff.
Yay.
Boom.
All right. So next Monday, are you still good?
Yep.
Okay, you still good, Rikki?
Think so. Should be.
And
Yeah.
hopefully I will be still intact.
All right, cool.
All right.
I'll see you guys
All
later.
right, see you
See you
next
guys.
week.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.